let's queer up the USA view. National Park Service bans uniformed staff from Pride parades. Pride celebrations nationwide might have a different hue this year as the National Park Service tightens its regulations on uniformed employee participation in LGBTQ+ Pride events. In a recent memo described by an NPS spokesperson as a reminder of existing guidelines, uniformed personnel are effectively barred from marching in events that could be interpreted as agency support for specific issues, positions, or political affiliations. This departure from past practices has caused confusion and concern among National Park Service staff, particularly those who have traditionally participated in Pride marches, including significant events like those in New York City and San Francisco. The Stonewall National Monument, commemorating the pivotal 1969 uprising in the LGBTQ+ rights movement, has often seen uniformed rangers joining Pride events. However, this year's policy shift has left some employees disheartened. One National Park Service staffer, speaking anonymously, criticized the agency's handling of the issue, citing a lack of professionalism and sensitivity. They emphasized the importance of participation in Pride events, highlighting the historical significance of honoring LGBTQ+ employees who faced discrimination during the Lavender Scare era and the need for outreach to an underrepresented community. As Pride season approaches, the new National Park Service approach has sparked conversations about the role of government agencies in supporting marginalized communities and the balancing act between neutrality and inclusivity. Well, I can appreciate that it's probably a complicated issue, and it's probably something where, it's like with your kids, you have to if we let one do it, we have to let all of them do it. I'm sure there's something there that we probably don't know behind the scenes, that if we allow the Park Service to participate in Pride events, there might be other people in the Park Service who don't like Pride events and want to participate in other types of events. Right. So I think it's difficult, but I think there needs to be a solution because, again, I think supporting people in their workplace, which is the National Park Service, in their identity of who they are is very important.
Right? I mean, are they cops, though?
They're like park cops, kinda-ish, right?
So instead of 5-0s, they're 2.5s?
Oh, don't say that.
No, because we have such a hard relationship with cops, you understand? So we have such a tough time. We were talking before the show, the three of us, about how New York has banned cops from being a part of Pride till after 2025 because some people in our community don't feel safe with them. Right? And we've got that really strained relationship with cops and people in uniform. But these are, state park employees.
Troopers,
how are you not letting the staff be who they really are in a parade?
So the thing is they're taking a political stance, right? Like, as long as their DEI meets the status quo, where they're hiring minorities and not imposing on their personal lives, cool. But when you're now wearing a uniform and you're an extension of their brand and essentially making a political statement, that's where it becomes a little,
Well, speaking of politics, by the way, let's just all remind ourselves that we just read the words Lavender Scare in a sentence in that article, which was a policy that was based on the fact that lesbians and gay men were a threat to national security because we were vulnerable and we had weak morals. So let's not ignore that little murky cloud that just is thrown in there. It's weird. It's another step back, in my opinion.